recording now. Go live here.
This is the Detailed Did It Barbershop Podcast. Conversation for and about the culture. It's season 2 right here. We back. Yo. We don't stop.
It's game time.
We don't stop. We don't stop. It's game time. We don't flop.
We don't stop. It's game time.
We don't flop.
We don't stop.
Game time. We don't. You're now tuned into the Detailed Did It Podcast. Come catch a fade.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's happening?
Man, what's happening, man? It is 15 after the hour, and this is the Detailed Did It morning show. And I'm chilling this morning, man. It's cold as hell outside. I think it's like 40 degrees. So if you ain't made it outside yet, make sure you bundle up because it is definitely very, very cold.
Whipping, man.
The wind is whipping, like my man said. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors. South Crown Barbershop, located right here on 1010 South Flores. I also want to give a shout out to all my other all the other shows under the podcast, under the Detailed Data Podcast umbrella. We have Same Mama Different Daddy with Millhouse.
True.
And your brother Simmons. Also, we have Patrick and Chad show, the realty and reality show, which is so dope, and they'll be on next. We also have Street Show, which is on Fridays, which is called Fist Up Fridays. If y'all missed out on the last Fist Up Friday, last Friday, make sure you go back and check it out. Your boy had me in my feelings, but hey, it is what it is. I took the bullet. So, and what else we got going on? That's about it. About covers it. Yeah. So today we want to talk about something serious and lighthearted at the same time, but I think it's a subject that plagues our community for sure, in a lot of negative ways, a lot of times more than positive. However, we are going to talk about this specific issue and how it's actually helped us get where we're going, but at the same time, it's still a struggle.
Very much so.
And today's subject, we're going to be talking about daddy issues. And today my guest or co-host, if you will, I have my boy Millhouse in the building. Say what's up, bro.
What's happening, man?
How you doing, bro?
I'm smooth, man. I appreciate you allowing us to be on here to discuss this one. I mean, because this is like I told you before, but this is therapeutic.
Yes.
A lot of people are dealing with these kind of issues, and it kind of just takes people being able to be open, to be able to help those wounds heal, and so I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to kind of let my voice be heard on that and let my wounds heal a little bit.
Well, it was originally something you had brought up, and you were talking about on your podcast. You had brought it up, and you guys were discussing things, and it dawned on me just how prolific and how profound that subject in itself is. I know it has a lot to do with why I am the man I am today, and how I got here, and the way I think and the way I see the world has a lot to do with my dad, my biological dad, not being there, but at the same time has a lot to do with my dad who stepped up and was there for me.
True.
So I did grow up in a 2-parent home. However, that DNA, that bloodline is something, when you find out you do have a biological father out in the world, and they not reaching out to you, looking out for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I have a dad. I know I got my dad taking care of me. I don't like to call him stepdad, but I will just for exploratory reasons, if you will.
Yeah.
But even with that, I think a stepdad is somebody that steps up to the plate, and he's the reason I'm doing well today. However, I do got a real dad who has other sons who he took care of, but never reached out to me. So that's I've been dealing with that for a long time. But recently, a few years ago, we had a conversation, and I forgave him. You know what I'm saying? Yet and still. It's the, so my dad that raised me, my stepdad, Gary Johnson. So when I say dad, I'm talking about him. When I'm talking about my biological, I'm gonna just say James. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just call him by his first, so we don't get nothing confused. But when my dad raised me, he raised me to be a man of my word. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not because he told me to be. It's just because what I watched him do. You know what I'm saying? My dad is a man of little words and a man of all action, 99.9% action. And so coming from that and seeing the bond that, seeing him and my little brother, who was his biological child, how much they have in common, not just looking like each other. What I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that's your dad. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows it's my dad too, because after a while you just kind of take on a person's
correct. We're mimicking mammals.
Exactly. So, but knowing like that thing that they had, I didn't have, but I knew I had it out there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy because once I finally got to meet up with the guy and at a young age, and he made promises to me that weren't fulfilled. And yeah, maybe they were little in hindsight, but to a kid, finally meets this guy that looks like him, walks like, oh, that's where I get my pigeon toe shit from. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy who, when you go around his people, they think they see him, but it's his son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then for this man to say things to me, because like I said, when my dad told me something, that's what it is. So when James told me something, I'm like, this is my bloodline. So he's gotta mean it. And to go home for the summer, get back home from the summer from spending time with him and my grandparents, and telling all my friends that like, yo, guess what shoes I'm gonna have this year for school, and I'm pumping it for weeks. Like, I got these Jordans coming. Met my dad, realest cat. He's pumping in my head, you're a Griffin or this, that, and the third. Talking about my blood and you know what I'm saying, and I'm just like eating this shit. I'm eating it up man. And then for the first day of school to come and nothing came. But I'm still giving the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, second weekend, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's a blessing to be around friends that I had that didn't put me on blast.
About that,
about that, like, yo, where them shoes at? You know what I'm saying? You've been talking about all summer. You know what I mean? So, little things like that. Then, you get over it. You make an excuse for this invisible hero. You know what I'm saying? Because of these words that were said to you in the 3 hours you spent with this guy that you just riding off of forever. So, like, those things, it's a bittersweet thing for me, and we'll get deeper and deeper, but I will say, him not being there helped me be there for my kids, even if they live out of state, even when they have stepdads who are taking great care of them. I'm not finna step to the side regardless of how well they may be doing. Those are my kids. Those are my sons. Like, they will know me. And if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it because I know how that shit feels. But I mean, like, where do you stand? Where did your shit start? Like,
that's it. I was gonna say we got a box a lot there, right there, man. So my situation is a little different. Both of my parents were married prior to meeting one another, and they had kids in their previous marriage. So that's where my brother William, right? My mom was married to his dad, had my brother William. And then my dad was married to his first wife, right? And had my oldest siblings, Ann and Leon. They came together and they had my sister Selena and then myself. So there's 5 of us total. And I would say with my dad, he was present in my life, still is present in my life. I think kind of going with his situation, I think and I think this is something that I've learned at 31, and you could probably attest to this because you're a few years, you make 40 this year.
I'm 40.
You're 40 now, 40 man. Club, yeah, 40 December. So, and you have kids. One of the things that I've kind of realized is that a man can only do what a man knows. So, you know, and that kind of helped me to kind of really start working this relationship with my dad, because my dad came from a family where we technically don't know who his biological father is, and this is that Louisiana kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Where dad's in his mid-60s, so I think a lot of people could probably attest to that, where my grandmother went down to college, came back, and she was pregnant. Right. And then my grandfather, the man we call my grandfather, the man who raised my dad, Mr. Walter, came in and raised my dad, and then they had 6 other siblings. And so my dad was always kind of treated differently. He didn't really feel the love from them, and could actually sing. He was a good singer, man. And so I had an opportunity to get a full scholarship to go to Grambling, but he didn't want to stay in the state. He wanted to be going to the Marine Corps to get as far away as he could from those people. Right. And I think that kind of carried him into becoming the man he is today. I think that
is he very militant?
I wouldn't say he's militant. He's the other side. He's a Baptist. Well, he's a Marine turned Baptist minister.
Wow.
So I mean, that's an interesting dynamic in itself. But he's a man of what he claims to be principles. And I'll tell you this. I mean, I think the man is solid. I think he's a great guy. I just think that there are things that when you become a man, you kind of look back on them, kind of like you were just talking about with the shoes. You look back on them and you question some of the decisions. And it's like, okay, that doesn't sound right, but I want to have the conversation with you. Maybe you can school me on that. My dad's a man that doesn't admit that he has faults, brother.
Mine's either.
And that's one of those moments where for me, I had to realize, like, wait a minute, how am I expected to grow? Because this is one of the principles he told me. You can't ever trust a man that feels he's never done anything wrong. Well, that directly goes back to you, man. And I think what really happened with me was once my parents divorced in 2009, they were married for almost 23 years at that time, I think. 23 years at the time. And I remember I went to my dad, man, because I was messing with him. This is my senior year in college, man, and I was just all out of it. I remember I went to my father, man, and I was like, look, bro, this divorce thing is messing with me. I want to talk to you about it, you know? And instead of, you know what I'm saying, him just sitting down and talking to me about it, this man basically shunned me, was like, nope, you got to deal with that on your own. I sacrificed enough for you. And as a kid, like, initially, like, that hurt, you know what I'm saying? And so I went into a shell. In fact, it took me so much into a shell where I kind of just, like, my foundation of my family, the one that I thought I had, no, it wasn't perfect, but I thought I had this great foundation. That whole thing broke. The only person I really talked to was, like, my mom, my sister, and my brother William, basically, like, the real core, four of us. And I had, like, my favorite aunt, you know, stopped talking to her. I just stopped talking to everybody, man, because I was just hurting, you know? And my focus became on, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to just grind it out, you know, make a good career for myself, start my own family. This thing over here, I don't know how I feel about it. It's not right. And my dad would reach out to me and all that kind of stuff. I just wouldn't take his call.
Hold up. So I don't want to, I hate to start to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Do you see a pattern?
See a pattern.
When your dad felt a certain kind of way and he joined the Marine Corps and just got as far away as possible, when your dad hurt your feelings and gave you no explanation for what the hell just happened, you just got away from it as far as possible.
You know, I never thought of it that way until you just put it out there like that. but yeah, that is a pattern. That's most definitely a pattern. Only, you know,
That's something he kind of taught you.
yeah, without teaching me
Without
that.
teaching
Without
you.
teaching me that, you know. And I mean, it was heartbreaking because, like I said, I mean, you're married to my mom, and then 5 months after y'all get a divorce, you got a new woman, you married. You know what I'm saying? And so
I think my biological. I think James did the same thing with his last wife. As soon as he got,
you know what I'm saying?
already married.
And already married. And I'm looking at it from like, okay, wait a minute here.
How you go from 20-some years
Is
to 5 months
to 5
later?
months, and you married again, and like they got married in Louisiana, and I was in school in Louisiana. My man called me and actually was like, "Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me go ahead and invite you out to be a witness for the wedding." I'm like close to my mama, folks.
Wait, first of all,
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
even tell me or explain the last situation.
No.
But you want me to be a part of this?
Want me to be a witness at the wedding, folks. And I'm like, nah. Like I can't remember what exactly I said. I think I said something. I had some schoolwork, something like that. But I just kind of brushed it off. But I remember getting off the phone and how that made me feel. And
how did it make you feel?
I mean, it left me with this, like, truly just me being kind of excluded, you know? Like, he was trying to include me, but I was excluded from the fact that I don't understand what's going on. I'm speaking to my mom, I'm hearing her side, and I'm hearing your side, and my mom's going through it. But you over here, you know.
Yeah, already.
Already jumped over and kind of like just fast forward some things like so you know, me and my dad, our relationship really has been the same since, and this is going on 10 years now. And what it ended up boiling down to is I had some good friends in my life, man, and I'm grateful for those people, man. My brother, you know what I'm saying, he was there too. But my boy, one of my very close friends told me, he was like, Joe, you know, and this really helped me. He was like, you don't know your mom how your dad know your mom. And he was like, you know, your dad knows your mom as like I know women that I've dated in the past, you know, where, you know, I know my mom as my mother. And he was like, so you don't know the ins and outs of the relationship. You gotta let that go. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, it wasn't really that the divorce impacted me. It was how my dad treated me, man. And I was like, I realized, I was like, I don't really trust this man. Like, I came to him trying to talk to him about that situation.
And he shunned you.
He shunned me on that. And then, like, when I started doing well in my career in the finance, like, my dad was out there talking about me, man. Like, it was a weird thing. It was like he wanted me to include him in it, but I didn't know how to include him in it. And so, like I said, I was in my own little circle, in my own world doing something. And I think I was being successful with it. But instead of him just being like, you know, rooting from the sidelines, my dude out there talking about me, man. Telling his friends, like, man, I wouldn't be his client. You know, he's over here trying to balance, you know, and this is when I was still out there in the game with it. You know, he's over here trying to balance different women. Clearly there's a morale character issue with him.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute, folks, you third marriage,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we are like the first marriage went down because of some infidelity issues. You know what I'm saying? And you can say technically the second marriage, we don't know what happened, but all I know is my mom ain't married yet, but you married 5 months later, player.
Right.
You know, not to mention some of the other things that he did, you know? And like, but I was never that guy. I was never that guy just out there like, hey, my dad, you know, this is what he did. I just kind of keep that close to the vest, because I felt like that made me feel like as if I was emotional, and like as if I was someone who couldn't manage his own life.
And see, that's the whole point of this discussion, because it's these things, whether you had a dad and he was there but wasn't there, kind of was there, or just didn't have a dad, period. You know, it's all these situations, because you got some guys that didn't have a dad and come out great, and you know, but at the end of the day, there's still something that stems from that lack of balance that you need. You're made from two people, so therefore you should take two people to come up. You know what I'm saying? So, and these things trickle down into our life, and then they go into the next generation, to the next generation. It's like a generational curse. And
Absolutely.
It's bad enough
Absolutely.
that, you know, a lot of our fathers are locked up in prison behind, some deserve and need to be there,
Yeah.
but a lot of them don't need to be there, you know what
Correct.
I'm saying, for petty bullshit. But it's just a way to keep our family dynamics screwed up.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
so,
Absolutely.
but to me, it's like, I want to go back to what you said, because like, would help me to start trying to understand my dad, or James rather, was because when I wasn't messing with him, I essentially wasn't messing with nobody on that side of the family other than my brothers and a couple of uncles that I know, because of him, I didn't even know I had other family members. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just found out a year or two ago that I had a great grandma still alive, who I just recently met. That's his grandma.
Wow.
I should know that.
Yeah.
You know, my brother's like, you going to Grandma Dynamite's 96th birthday? I'm like, who? I got a great grandma that's still alive?
Man.
With all her sense, who loves me and freaking still calls me, like, out of the blue. She'll just call me. I'm at work. I seen you on Facebook, baby. Just want to tell you I love you. Like,
That's
you
fine.
mean I've been missing out on all this love.
Yeah.
You know. And so recently, I went back, when I went to see her or visit her for the first time, I was like, everybody figured out that I was like the first grandson. Like, it was like the missing link. I was like the prodigal son returned home. The shit was beautiful.
That's fine.
But anyway, so let me tell you about something recently that just happened. So, you know, I have a son in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I just went to go visit him this past weekend. Took off Friday and we kicked it the whole weekend or whatever. And again, seeing that me and James don't have a bond whatsoever, I'm telling my brother, I'm like, yo, I'm about to be in Atlanta for the weekend. He's like, oh, you finna go see Pops? I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I forgot that he moved there. He lives there. My biological dad, James, he lives in Atlanta. So I'm like, dang. So which means my little brother lives in Atlanta. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna make sure I see my little brother. Make sure he sees his nephew. And so I go out there, and me and Tyler, we're making our moves and stuff, chilling. Shout out to my son Tyler. And we went somewhere in a situation. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the Martin Luther King Memorial deal, but it was like 22 degrees out there, so we wasn't doing no outside stuff. So I had asked my brother. I said, "Man, find out what James's address is." You know what I'm saying? If the moment arises, maybe not.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, when I had all my sons, when I had my first son Anon when he was 2, I drove out to Austin to see James so he can meet his grandson. I felt like I was obligated to do that. When Scooter was born, or like a couple years ago, my brother got married, I took him to meet his granddad.
Okay.
I felt like that was my obligation.
Yeah.
What
absolutely.
you do with this is on you.
Absolutely.
So this time, I'm chilling. We just finished doing something, and I was like, I'm gonna put the address in. If that joint is less than 25 minutes away, we going.
Yeah.
If it's over that, it wasn't meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I can dig it.
So I put it in, bro. That joint was like 23 miles away.
Just so?
I said, all right.
All right.
So he doesn't know I'm coming. Nobody knows I'm coming. I was like, I'm gonna just show up. If somebody's there, good. You know, cool. We'll take it from there. Go with the flow. And if not, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I go. Me and Tyler pull up to his place or whatever, and we're looking throughout the apartments. We really can't find it. And then we see somebody's like, they point us in the right direction. And as we're walking towards that direction, his wife is walking out the door. And I recognize her. I'm not sure she's gonna recognize me, but she looks up, looks me in my face.
Probably sees your
like
dad.
I was like, what's up? So she's blown away. She invites us inside. We chill, kick it. Long story short, James wasn't there and my little brother was at work. They're both at work. So, you know, we chopped it up for a little while, and I had things to do. I didn't come this weekend to go to do that.
Do that.
This is about me and my son, and that's that. So, and we have plans. So, you know, I was just like, hey, we're gonna take off, and then, you know, they're like, well, try to come back, this, that, and the third, and I'm like, well, we'll see, you know, if, you know, time permits, we'll do it. If not, because he's all the way in Snellville, so it's like a lot of driving I do when I'm out there. So we get on to our business. We going throughout the weekend. My little brother gets off work, comes to visit me from where they live. He comes to see me and my nephew and his nephew.
So he drives.
He drives.
He drives. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh. Love Josh. He comes out there. He kicks it with us for like hours on end.
Yeah.
And then the next day, and so throughout that day, James had been texting me like, you know, I'm gonna be off, blah 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 blah. You know, and I'm really ignoring the text message. It wasn't until Josh hit me like, yo, have you getting Dad's text messages? I'm like, I checked him, and he's, you know, just talking about visiting and all this other stuff. But I say all that. And then the next day, he's like, he's going to be off, so if you can come by, come through. And my whole thing was, I'm in Atlanta.
Yep.
I
Exactly
flew here.
Yep.
I'm not kicking it with you. I'm not coming back out there to see you, because you know what I'm doing right now?
Doing what you should have been doing.
I'm kicking it with my son,
Yeah.
and I'm also kicking it with his father, his stepdad. And
Sure.
us three are connecting and communicating and hanging out and breaking bread.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, this your grandson, and I'm here in Atlanta. I was also in San Antonio while you lived in Austin for 10 years. 45 minutes away from me. When my whole family was here.
Yeah. How many times did you make that drive?
Man, listen, all I wanted to hear him say was, where you at? That's all I wanted to come out of his mouth was, where you at? I'm coming to you. Right now, when I get off, let's have dinner, let's chop. Let me put in some effort. Towards you and yours. You done already traveled, spent money, came to my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've done all this stuff. You're here for on the behalf of your son.
Yep.
You know, like, James, like, where's the effort?
Absolutely.
But it also, you know, and like you said, we gotta see what our dad went through. I later learned in life that he essentially was abandoned as a kid by mom and dad. And he essentially raised himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I give him stuff, but I'm just like, how much I gotta give? This is my third son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, my first one, okay. My second one, okay. Here's my third. He lives in the same city as you. And there's no effort on your behalf to like come out of your way for me.
And that's something.
And that
folk, like, dude, like you hit a nerve there, because that's something that I have that I would say, I'm just gonna use me, because I'm not gonna bring my other siblings into it, but that's something that I really struggle with my dad, man. Like, I date a great girl right now. It's fantastic. And I wanted my dad to come out and come out to dinner. You know, I was gonna take him, my old lady out, his wife, all of us out to a nice dinner, because they really haven't really just meshed. They haven't really talked yet. They haven't.
You gotta tell a ticket story too, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, you know, this happened just recently. This was maybe about a month ago. I was like, hey man, I was at my cousin's graduation in Houston. I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. I was like, well, look, Dad, I'd love to go ahead and take you all out to dinner. And I want y'all to meet everybody to meet and just hang out and have a good time. So went ahead and set that whole thing up. And 2 days before we're supposed to go, you know, because my daddy just wants to stay at home. You know, he's into this. You ever heard of this Iraqi dinar thing? It's basically a scam, but basically he believes that the Iraqi dinar, ever since we invaded Iraq, the money that the Iraqi dinar has been devalued. He believes it's going to revalue at like one Iraqi dinar is equivalent to $3.14 per American dollar. So he believes overnight everyone who has invested in this is going to be instant millionaire, billionaire people, and has given this game to so many people. And the people always say, hey, it's going to revalue any week now. So they've been saying this for like damn near 17 years, bro. And my dad has given these people this game, and he is just, I think now that he doesn't have his church, that's kind of become his God in a way, because this is what he's feeding his time into. It's ridiculous. And so I calls me, he was like, well, look, Joe, we're not going to be able to make dinner. And I was like, why aren't you be able to make dinner, man? He was like, I'd rather you bring it by the house. I got to keep my eye on this raggedy Nar thing. And I don't want my woman to see that. I don't want her to be a part of that. I want her to know the action. My dad's pretty charismatic. He's kind of a funny guy. But I don't want her to see this, man.
That's the thing I hate about my dad. He's so cool and laid back
Yeah,
and suave. And like,
I
get so much
it's
that
the
from
game
him,
from
man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still looks good. Like, his brother is just still 100% like, you know, good looking brother.
That's
it.
Like I would say I wouldn't say my dad is like the best looking guy. I would say for his age he looks good, but like his health was kind of declining for a while. Now he's dropped a lot of weight, but overall, like that let me know. I was like, this is somebody who's important to me, bro. Like, once again, I'm coming to you being like, hey, I want to go ahead and do something.
And why
nice.
do we do this?
Why
do we do this to ourselves?
And you know, I do this, and it's something that I was talking to my brother William about. I was like, you know, I was still wanting my dad's acceptance. I was still wanting for him to say he's proud of me. My dad's never said that. Man. And I think we've done a lot of good stuff. My dad never says it. And
my dad has said he's proud of me.
I envy you for that. I envy you for that.
But listen, it's not. It means nothing when the actions don't back it up. Like, I don't need you to be proud of me. I'm proud of me. My dad is proud of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what our relationship is about right now. I don't need a daddy per se. I just really want to know the man that I come from. Like, we should have a friendship. You know what I'm saying? We should have, like, it should be cool. Like, you should be reaching out to your grandkids. Like, they should know you. They should look forward to maybe getting to go visit you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, where our relationship comes in together. You know what I mean? Like, I love him because he loved my brothers. They came out really good. You know, they starting to see a lot of things too. However, like, they're all of us are ambitious. All three of my brothers, we are doing our thing despite our daddy issues. You know what I'm saying?
So that's real. Like going back to you asked for the ticket story, man. Like that was one of the things that I thought was so cool, man. Like, fresh out of school, man, had season tickets to the Spurs, man. Shout out to Joe Walden. He was my frat brother. Hooked me up with the things, man. Had a full season thing. Row 13, seats 1 and 2. I mean, relatively close to Lower Bowl, man.
Yeah, that's great.
And this was a goal of mine. Got the goal knocked out within the first year of me starting to work, man. And so my mom and I would go to the game a lot. You know, I'd take my brother, friends, you know, girls, all that kind of stuff, right? And so I'd always post stuff on Facebook. And my sister calls me. This is Father's Day weekend coming up. She called me. She was like, why have we never taken Dad to the game? And I was like, well, you know, my dad's never really been a big sports guy, you know? And so I was like, I don't think he wanted to go. And she was like, but you never invited him. Invite him. So I'm like, all right, cool. So call him up, invite him, and this is the NBA Finals, folks. This is 2013, the first time we go, when we probably should have won that chip too. And call my dad up. And I'm like, hey, Dad, you know, Sunday, I'm going to go to church with you, because this is when he was still preaching. I was like, you know what? We're going to go to dinner. I'm going to take you to the game. And he was like, well, Joe, man, you don't really have to do all that. I'm like, no, Dad, I think it's something I really want to do.
Yeah, it's something I want to do.
You know, something I want to do, you know, and have you with me. And we go ahead and set the whole thing up. He calls me back. And he was like, you know, how much are those tickets running, you know? And I was like, I don't know. I think probably move them for, like, if I didn't want to go, maybe $2 or $3 grand per seat. You know, it's the finals, man. Yeah. And he was like, well, what I'd really rather you do is, why don't you sell those tickets and give the money to the church? And I'm like, nah, folks. You know, I really want to go to the game. I want to do something with you. You know, any other male, if Scooter came to you, folks, it was like, Dad, we got Super Bowl tickets. Dad, we got finals tickets. It's on me. Let's go.
Where are we meeting now?
where we rolling to? Where we rolling to, right?
Yeah, what time?
And so to make matters worse, I upheld my end of the deal. I go to church. And as I'm in church, my dad's in the pulpit. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, my son got finals tickets, and everyone's like, yeah, and all that kind of stuff. Praise him, all that kind of stuff, whatever. This little cult church, whatever. Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, my son got finals tickets, but you know what he said he's going to do? He's going to go ahead and sell the tickets, give the money to the church. And he's utilizing the bullet pulpit as a way to tell me, trying to convict me, and me being me, I'm just like, nah, folk, it ain't working like that, So sure enough, I take him, Miss Martha, his wife. We go to dinner. We go to Bob's Steakhouse, right? We go to there, eat dinner and everything. And I'm just like, hey man, so I'm gonna pick you up, after drop Miss Martha off. We can probably just roll over to the game now, After that, he was like, nah, Joe, I don't want to go, man. I was really hoping you was gonna, give the money to the church. I don't want to go. So went ahead and took the woman who's always been in my corner, took my mom to the game. That was game 5. Tony Parker,
how you gonna tell me?
It was a great game.
How you gonna tell me what to do with my gift?
So so this is something that William and I have gone back on, and my dad went with me on this one. I don't know. I still don't agree with it, but William's and my dad's perspective, and I think William was just saying this because I think William actually sides with me more so, but I think he was just saying this to kind of ease and be mediator. He was like, well, if it was a gift to me, then you should have gave the gift to me the way that I wanted to have the gift. And I was like, well, okay, I can see how you can think I don't know. No, that's you, not, no. I wanted to have a moment with my dad because I don't have those. I don't have.
That's all BS.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the difference of me saying, hey, like a gift is a gift. Like, that's just like you telling me, my birthday coming up, I want you to give me a car. You don't get to do that.
That is true.
You don't get to tell someone, hey, it's my anniversary, give me this. Or it's my, this is my 10th year, I graduated from college, you need to give me a car. Yeah. I'm choosing no, that's not what a gift is.
That's very fair.
So you either say, yes, I'll take it, or yes, I won't take it. You don't get to dictate or make me flip my gift. Like, what are you talking about? Like, first of all, you disrespecting the value and the intent of the whole situation to begin with, which is to spend, for you and I to have a moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you are so selfish that you can't put your own needs to the side and just tend to your son who's giving you a gift. You could ask anybody on the planet to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your sister put in your head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you jumped on
because he put that in her head. Like, why don't you invite me? And I was
that's what I was thinking when you first brought it up. I said, I wonder if he's the one that even made her to have the conversation just for her to bring that up.
Yep.
Just for you to go do that, for the circle to come back around to do good, but then he's still manipulating the whole situation. So to me, that seems like he's a master manipulator.
You can make
and I would say the same about people I know. Like manipulation to the highest form, and like, man, how much time we got? It's 7:52. Man, it was wow. Where do I start? I remember. I think we'll talk about this next on next Tuesday, but I want to discuss how when I was going through the worst time of my life, drugging and thugging and suicidal, the whole nine. I had the opportunity to go live with him, and I think it might have been a 3 or 4 month span. And what I witnessed and what I saw, never living with this man a day in my life. I'm a grown man. I'm 28, struggling hard. Came to his house with a bag of clothes and with open arms, though. Like, okay, he's like, yeah, I always said I had a place for you to stay. Now it's time for you to come stay with me. This is God. And we're going to talk about how he made me attend church. Okay, if I'm living in your house, we got to go to church. Cool. I should be able to go to the church of my choosing.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah. As long as you're going to church.
As long as I'm going to church.
Yeah.
But this man was like, nah, you're going to go to this church. and I'll talk about that cult church in a later episode.
Yeah.
But like what I saw, basically, and I won't go too deep.
Go ahead.
But I saw things that I had going on in my life, things that I didn't like about myself. I saw them in him to the 10th power. Like if I don't get my life together, if I don't do X, Y, Z, I'm gonna be doing things like he's doing to these people who don't see it because they live in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would bring things up and, you know, I would just be shunned for that shit. And then, yeah, we'll talk about how he kicked me out of his house right after he moved. They bought a new house, left me at the old house to do the paintings. And then, like, literally I slept there by myself, nobody but me in the house, while him, his wife, and 2 kids, my 2 brothers, went to the new house. He left me in the old house to finish painting. And then he'd come by sometime the next day to like check on me and shit. But yeah. And then like we got into it behind a haircut. A $5 haircut. I ain't had no money. That's one of my $5. Anyway, long story short, he kicked me out. It was raining. It was about this cold. Locked the door. Locked me out the house. Told me I wasn't his son. Cussed me out. And drove off. And left me right there on the front porch of the old house, locked out. So,
Did he ever apologize for that?
No, never. Not never. He never apologized for anything. So, but that also made me have to swallow my pride after being, what just happened to me, call my dad and apologize for being a dick and for not accepting tough love and wanting to be babied and shit, and told him, hey, please let me come home. I'm gonna go to barber college, I'm gonna get a job, and I'm gonna be the best barber in San Antonio. I don't want no help, I don't need nothing, I'll walk everywhere I gotta go, I just need somewhere to sleep. It's like, all right. Yeah. And that was 13 years ago. So yeah, a lot of this, like, so it's like, I think it comes down to taking these experiences that you go through, good, bad, terrible, and like finding some kind of good out of it, some way, somewhere to build off of either the pain or the lessons of the pain, or so that you don't make the same mistakes. Because do you have kids?
No. Kids.
And so, you know, that's coming.
Yeah, and like I know it's coming, and that's one of those things that I'm trying to fight through this, man. Because I gotta let this stuff go, because we all know how this thing goes, man. I mean, you playing with, you know, powers in the universe. What we put out this gonna come back to us.
Yes.
And how I treat my dad, I would really, that would hurt me. You know what I'm saying? If my kids treated me like that, they didn't call me, they didn't, you know, they weren't around. That would kill me. And I'm like, I gotta shake through that, like real quick. So like, when you just told me that story about what your dad, the situation you had, just really brought something up. And I think that was the first turning point for me. I remember my sophomore year, I wanted a car. We had driven my parents' cars and stuff like that, but I wanted my own car. And we were getting money in college, all that kind of stuff. And so I remember I went to my dad and was like, man, I'd like to get a car, because he was still married to mom. He's had a household, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, hey, I'd like to get a car. Dad's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to help you get a car. Go to my mom. And I'm like, Mom, I need to go ahead and get a car. And so Mom's like, well, yeah, let's go ahead and see what we can do. So we go down there, go to Ancira, go ahead and Ancira Ford, whatever that once was, off of 410 in Bandera. Went down there, Wurzbach in Bandera, I'm sorry, and I saw a Mustang. And the guy was like, look, man, Mustang gonna run you right around like 10. And I was like, okay. And he was like, you know, do you have credit? I was like, I've been working on building and all that kind of stuff. Got a credit card. He was like, okay. So I ran my credit. He was like, okay, yeah, you're credit qualified, but you got to come with $1,000. And I was like, man, I don't have $1,000 right now, you know, but I can get $1,000 later. And so Mom's like, well, go talk to your dad. And so talk to Dad about it. Dad's like, no, I told you I'm not helping you get a car. So I'm like, okay, all right. And there was a guy who went to my church, you know, who kind of looked out for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, solid dude, kind of like another like dad and all that kind of stuff, but it's a real solid dude. I go to Mr. Man, I asked Mr. Man, he was like, $8,000? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'll give you 15. I was like, okay, well, look, man, like when I get back to school and start working again, go ahead and pay you back. He said, no, don't worry about it. This is a gift to you. Gives me the money for the down payment. Go ahead, sign the car, all that kind of stuff, get the car. And I remember that happened Sunday. Went to pick the car up because, you know, you got to retune it, all that kind of stuff, make sure tires and everything, wash the car. Pick the car up on Tuesday, bring the thing home, and my dad was already home. And I was just like, well, look, man, I want you to come see my car and all that kind of stuff. And so my dad's just in his room. He's just like, I don't want to see that thing. I don't want to see it, nor do I really support you having it.
So that was the jump. That was it from the jump.
That was it.
You didn't want me having why?
Which is crazy because he wanted to start a business, and this is so interesting. He wanted to start a business after he got out of the military. My dad's a good cook. He wanted to start a business. Went to his parents, asked him to co-sign for the business. Both his parents said no. But his sister was dating a guy, and he wanted to buy a car. Parents co-signed for him to get the car. By the way, my aunt didn't marry that guy either. But they still helped that man. And I was just like, how the hell would you not? If you knew how that felt, my dad tells this story a lot. Why would you not want to help me? Why would you not want to be supportive of me on that? But he claims he always bought me like the coolest cell phones. He's like, man, you always had the best cell phones because you took care of things. Folk, yeah, I really wanted to get a car. Feeling, you know, that's him. What's him do?
Daddy issues, man. If y'all feel, if y'all like digging this content, you know, we're gonna keep it moving from here on out. We're gonna do a pretty long series on this because I mean, we can talk about this all day, all night.
Yeah.
For real. I got a lot, and you know, and it's good and bad. We're not just gonna be bashing folks, but because you know, there's some good things about my pops that, you know, I just try to hold on to. Not a lot, but enough. You know what I'm saying, that I try to. So, but yeah, man, crazy shit.
It is. It is. But now I'm not gonna lie. Like I too can be an asshole too. So I got some culpability and some of this stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
It's just, man, who's the adult? You know, like somebody got to be the adult. You know?
But it's like, you know, I started looking at the bigger picture. You know, even like when I was searching for an address, you know, me and my son were looking to find this crib, you know, I thought I was gonna pull up to a home. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a lot of things I look at, the bigger picture. I'm just like, you know, man, you're almost 60, you know.
No home ownership.
No home ownership. And I'm just like, you know, I own a home.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it could be all by choice. I don't know. You know, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. But, you know, I don't know. He might be about to or whatever. I don't know his business at all. Because like I said, I don't know him. But I just know what I see.
Yeah.
And you know, since I've known him my adult life, I've always seen him rent.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like little things I peep game on, and it's just like you said, everything that goes around comes around.
True.
You know what I mean? So I think it's imperative that we invest in our children and our grandkids, and like, if you did wrong, you know, just accept it. Like, it's nothing wrong with saying I was wrong and I apologize. You know what I'm saying? You know, and at the same time, for me, I'm at a point in my life where I don't really need the apologies. What I just don't need is like false promises. Like, just don't say nothing. You know, like when I introduced him to my son Derek this past like a year ago, whatever the wedding was, or 2 years, whatever it was. You know, my son, I had to have that conversation with him on the way to the wedding. Like, hey, so I got another dad. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, okay, this is the situation. I know you're only 8, but my mom told me about my real dad situation at the age of 7. So and you finna go meet this dude who's gonna be saying all this granddad stuff to you that you might not understand.
Yeah.
But you know who your granddad is. So you know, and I'm thinking, I'm not knowing how he's going to accept this, and I'm going to this wedding on defense because it was the situation that happened since the last time I saw him.
Gotcha.
So now with I'm seeing him again, fast forward a decade later.
Oh man.
So I'm like anxious about this whole situation because I'm like, dang, I really don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but when I'm telling my son this, it's crazy how God works. My son was like excited to meet this guy. And I can't be the one to be like, wait,
what you excited for?
What you excited for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay,
Let him have that.
God.
Yeah.
Let him have that. I'm not going to bash this man at all. You just see for yourself. So as soon as we get up in the building, they're having a little deal where everybody's giving my brother and his wife to be like, you know, words of wisdom, the whole go around, speak. As soon as we get in there, I'm with my family, wife, my daughter, my son, and Scooter is right next to me, like, where is he? I'm like, dang, yeah, he's like, where? He's right across the way, right there, like no more than 15 steps away. And I'm like, I point right at him. And he's looking at me, looking at Scooter, and him and Scooter making eye contact, and then he ushers Scooter to come to him. So I'm just like, go holler at him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was excited. And so my son, put a whole different atmosphere and vibe and energy to the situation, because now I went from rah to like daddy mode, like, all right, okay, cool. This is about him.
Yeah.
And so, but after we left and we parted ways and all that good stuff, you know, he hit my son with I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, I'm gonna come see you this summer and all these, and I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, shut up, bro.
Don't do that to him.
Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Just say hi and bye, bro. Don't make no promises.
Yeah.
Don't do that to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need him looking forward to nothing that ain't gonna happen. And then, you know, and it really affects the wife because she saw everything. She saw, you know, the kick out, she was with me through all that. So the way she feels towards him is kind of, you know, she just kind of has this bad taste in his mouth. Yeah. So even when I went down there, this you know, this what's it called last time, you know, she was quick to tell me, like, don't put too much effort into that. Like, you know how this shit goes. Yeah. You know, I'm just like, I know, but, you know, I have to at least make the attempt to link so they at least meet each other.
It's in the same city.
You're in the same city, but
yeah,
that's been the case before, and it didn't mean nothing. So anyway,
This gonna get kind of deep, man. This stuff, man. But like I said, I still stand by it. I still think it's good because you brought, like I said, just today you brought up something it had never resonated that way. You were like, it was a pattern, and you fell into the pattern, and which lets me know that I have some things I still need to adjust and work through. You know what I'm saying?
But just knowing it and realizing it, it's major.
That's major.
That's major in itself, because, you know, one thing about me, I've been very good at being like self-check. Like, all right, I've been very good at saying like, all right, I'm screwing up, or, you know, I'm not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I need to do this better or do that better. Like, you know, and I keep myself around people who can criticize me, and I can accept that. You know, whether I don't like it or not, you know, I purposely keep real ones around me to say these things, and they're not scared to say it.
Yeah.
And so I felt like no one ever told that man nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or he kept himself in this bubble towards no one could.
Yeah, because the only person that can correct him is God, man. That's the
only
one.
person
that's the only one.
Is God.
But he can correct everybody else.
Yes.
Ah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So and it's crazy because I have a younger brother who's gay, and he lives with him, and he's the best kid on the planet, smart, educated, very talented, the whole nine, and like he's going through that whole dynamic with my dad, and he's old, you know, he was a pastor at one time, the whole, so he's dealing with a lot of things right now, and I'm just like, man.
Pray for him. That's your baby brother, right?
That's my baby brother. Yeah, my baby brother. Yeah. He's awesome, wonderful, loving, dope kid, man. Hella talented. Just he's finna be great. And I was like, I said once you make your move, ain't nobody gonna be talking about that shit no more.
So true.
But
yeah,
thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank
man.
you.
It's the
Daddy
Detail
issues.
podcast. I'll be continuing tomorrow too. My guest tomorrow is who I got coming on here tomorrow. Damn it, who I got coming on here? Fuck. I got somebody coming on here tomorrow. I forget. But I know we're gonna pick this subject up right where we left off, because everybody can relate to this.
Absolutely.
Even if you had a cousin or uncle or a friend or a homeboy who didn't, because this thing stems all the way down why a lot of kids bullying and low self-esteem and all kind of stuff. So joining gangs.
Yeah. How they view relationships, women.
Yeah, how you look at women, how you look at everything in life stems from, a big part of it comes from your father. Yeah. And that's men and women. But anyway, we can keep going, man. Y'all stay